A fucking chock full of stimulant and 2 coffees.
And 2 hours late.
Happy DocMas residents, and welcome to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Ooh, Merry Christmas.
Ching, ching, ching.
No.
I never learned my lesson.
I love this. It's like something instinctual inside you. Amazing.
Yeah, but each week we talk about, this year, each day of the 12 days of DocMas leading up to Christmas Day, we answer questions about DC Comics and the whole world of DC.
Yeah.
Well,
wow. You spent like an hour making these fucking scripts for yourself.
I didn't write this part, though.
Jesus, all that time.
Yeah, no.
Listen. You know what's happening.
It's
here.
DocMas VII.
DocMas VII, Dairy DocMas,
or
a.k.a. Moo Dairy Moo Problems. Every episode, we will be consuming a different dairy product.
Yeah.
We're going to, you made like a very fun plan for it that I enjoyed a lot, which was like taking us through our day.
Yes.
I actually think it's probably worth going through, giving you a little taste of what we'll taste. Okay. Today's episode, we're going to get to it in a sec. Bagels with cream cheese.
Oh.
Great start to the day. Episode 2, yogurt parfait.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3, a cheese platter.
Oh my God.
One of your favorite things to make.
I love
that.
Cheese platter.
Episode 4, grilled cheese sandwich. A thing I hate.
Yeah. Because some of this has to be bad for you.
Yeah, only a little bit, though. Episode 5, dairy dips.
Oh, yeah.
We've got all sorts of dips, baby.
Queso.
And that. Episode 6 was initially going to be milkshakes, and then logistically, I thought that was a little challenging.
Did you guys even have a blender?
No.
Well, yeah, that would be a big
Well,
challenge.
that was a big logistical challenge.
Yeah. And then we'd have to
So
go
instead, I just replaced it with a giant carton of eggnog.
A little callback to DocMas I.
Yeah, because this might be the last time.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just keep saying it and be like,
This is it.
They were right this time. The episode after that, episode 7, stuffed jalapeno poppers.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Episode 8, I've got a cheesy frittata that we're going to have. So that'll be nice. Episode 9, my wife is going to make fettuccine Alfredo.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to do that. Episode 10, we got cheesecake. Episode 11, we're going to have a little cheese and wine. A little,
aperitif.
Aperitif's usually in advance.
In advance of our dessert.
I think you're thinking, a dessert aperitif.
Yeah.
And then episode 12, we got some special ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Baby. So that's what's happening here. Now, just a reminder, Richard is lactose intolerant.
And we had a conversation beforehand because I said I've been debating taking my lactaids, and then you said I just assumed you were going to, and this was just going to overdo it. And
yeah, I thought the point was you were going to take the lactate to be safe, and we would just overwhelm your system with so much dairy that it wouldn't matter.
And I determined that I wasn't going to do that.
Right. For comedy.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
All you fucking ungrateful.
Well, because I talked to my partner, and she was just like, you could just take it and it might be okay. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, the problem is like, yes, but then why even do dairy?
Yeah.
And I think like
I do love that that's the linchpin for you. It's like, but what if it's not as funny?
Well, because then it's like, why are we even doing it?
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's like I'd rather just get drunk then. Like it's
fair.
If it's not punishing, is it funny? Like then it's just we're eating a bunch of dairy and like cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I mean, that's what it'll be for me.
Yeah. It was funny because we were talking because she's like, you're not sleeping in the bed tonight. And I was like, well, look, the alternative is that maybe it'll just seal me all up.
Maybe I'll sleep here more.
Yeah.
It was your response.
Well, more of just like, maybe I'm not going to be farting and shitting myself.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just seal myself up the one end and I'll just puke shit out into our bed later.
It was very funny because last night we went playing pool with some of my girlfriend's friends.
Sure.
And we were playing pool, and somebody just like, I was walking past my girlfriend as somebody was being like, "Oh, so you guys moved in together? Like, how is that?" And she was like, she jokingly was like, "Yeah, it's fine," knowing that I was overhearing her, and then I just spun around, gave finger guns, and said, "Yep, just blasting farts and smoking darts."
Wow.
And then walked backwards away.
Wow, you're cool. Hell yeah.
And I was like,
fuck yeah.
I'm like, that might be my favorite thing I've ever said.
Blasted farts and smoking. Yeah, that's amazing. Good Lord.
But yeah, so I'm not doing that. I've been up since 7.
Okay.
I had to do a very professional and important.
Yeah, you were at work.
Yeah, I worked this morning I had to do a speech in front of an important organization, and which I had a coffee. I got a
and I gave a bunch of cheese to eat beforehand.
Yeah. Well, no,
I was telling my parents that you were working first, and they were like, "It'd be so much funnier if you had to go to work after."
I mean, yes,
it'd be the best possible version of it.
Yeah, but if I'm not recording that, then like, what's the value in it?
Just knowing that it happened.
Oh, okay,
that's enough for me.
Sure. But and so I was at this event, and I've already popped a depression pill and a stimulant, and so I was already jacked up, and then I was like waiting, and so I was like, I can't just like sit here. So I went and had a coffee, and they didn't have a non-dairy alternative.
So you actually pre-gamed for DocMas.
Yeah, and then we're drinking a coffee right now too.
Yeah, and I put milk in it.
Yeah, so it's the rumbling has begun.
I love it. So let's talk about it. I got a couple of types of bagels for us.
Yeah, so let's before we get into our question, it's time for us to start the first movement of the dairy tonic scale. You can see why I took all that time now.
Yeah, worth it.
Yeah, thank you. What's in our first movement?
We're really mixing metaphors here. Okay. The first movement.
Thank you.
Of the dairy tonic scale.
Thank you.
Is bagels and cream cheese. Mm-hmm. So I got plain bagels, and I got cinnamon raisin bagels, and I got 2 whipped cream cheeses.
And these were toasted an hour ago, so
yeah, because we were waiting for you to finish just remaking your scripts that you did not actually update properly, and then your computer had to update for like 30 fucking minutes.
Yep.
So you've got a cinnamon raisin bagel with a berry medley cream cheese, and I have a plain bagel with a chive cream cheese. That's been sitting out for a while. It's so cold now.
We're really cold. Are you a bagel cream cheese guy?
If I'm having a bagel, I will. I prefer it to just... Well, actually, I don't even know if that's true. I would probably just get butter.
Really?
For the most part. But I like bagels with cream cheese. But it does feel like it's like slightly more special than what I would just normally do for myself.
Do you normally have bagels in the morning, or?
No, not often. Or if I like am in a drive-thru, I'll get like a BLT. I'll do something like that over this, maybe. But no, I like it. Like I've got no like problem with it. It's just maybe not the number one thing I'd get for myself.
These are the densest bagels I've ever had.
Yeah, I just got them at a store.
Dempsters?
No.
Not even?
Just like Superstore.
Wow. So I typically, I have bagels mostly only on the weekends. Only just because I don't really eat breakfast on most weekdays, because I get up at like 6 a.m., leave and work at 7 most mornings. And so I just like don't really give myself time to eat breakfast. And so I don't typically do it, but on the weekends, almost every breakfast is bagels. There's a really great local bagel maker in town here called Bullet Hole Bagels. They're so good, and if you can get
like
them
Montreal style.
On Wednesdays, they typically bring them to the grocery store, and so you can get them there. And so I usually pick them up at the end of the day when they're just dropping them off, and so you get them pretty fresh. I love everything bagels. That's usually the ones that I get. Their everything bagels are the most caked in seasoning bagels I've ever seen.
Are.
Like
you can't actually see bagel.
No, it's all seasoning, and which is like exactly the way that you want it. So I we're flying loose. It's like the old days.
Richard's computer almost fucking died.
It's fine. Look, we're bringing it back. It feels like we're in
This does feel,
a bit like an old school DocMas.
I like it.
Except for the lack of prep, which I overcompensated everything back then for.
Yeah. No, this is good, though.
So
I feel like the Joker, where it's like, we got to strip it. It's just me and you, Batman, the way it should be.
Yeah, as the roof caves in on us. So I usually do plain cream cheese. I because there's so much flavor in those bagels. And then I put smoked salmon on them. And that's usually like every weekend. That's typically. Sometimes I'll put capers on.
That bagel joint, like their
smoked salmon, yeah.
Like sandwich is great. It's amazing. They do a great BLT, and they do an amazing like Thanksgiving dinner, like Christmas dinner one, where they'll put like turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and like shit like that on it. Oh man, those are fucking.
They
good
often, I think every week, if not every day, they have a new special, and they're like incredible. I've had ones with like brie and apples and ham on them, and like their special bagels are so good. It's just so decadent that I can't have them very much, and they're not cheap, but they're so good that it's often worth it. And so if there's a situation where sometimes I'm at work and it's like 10 o'clock and I'm like, I actually am really hungry, I'll sometimes go and get them there. But that's really the sort of, I'm picky about the bagels, and I also really shouldn't, another thing I shouldn't really be eating is gluten. And so
I thought all your health things basically went away.
No.
Okay.
No, they're all still there.
Because you drink wine again.
So
there were all these, like, a couple of years ago, we switched to the chicken nuggets because it was like, I can't drink and I can't do this.
Yeah.
All these things. And I feel like in the time since, you've been like, no, it's fine.
So
like maybe it was more stress than it was.
It was definitely stress that
something else
created like my alopecia for sure. But I've always had an issue with like dairy. I've always had an issue with gluten.
Sure.
Which is why I often don't drink beer.
You don't think that gluten works very hard and it's taking all the jobs. That's my issue with it.
Yeah. Gluten intolerant.
No, we need to promote gluten tolerance.
Yeah. Yeah, I tolerate it. Great word.
Yeah.
And so so I had beer last night and I really paid for it this morning. I was like inflammation and stomach problems and stuff.
But is that like after one beer or after like a few?
Any amount.
Still, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which is why, I mean, sometimes I'll just do it and be like, fuck it.
Yeah. I guess maybe that's why I
say fuck it a lot.
Confuse because you do often just go like, whatever. Like,
yeah.
And so then it's like, well, is he?
No, I am. Like, it's
yeah.
The joint problems and stuff are really bad. Oh my God, last night, I don't think it was from the beer. I actually think it was, I had French fries earlier, which I shouldn't have done, but I like had wicked indigestion at like 1:30 in the morning last night. Like, I don't know if you ever get that where it feels like there's literally like a weight on your chest. It's so bad.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, since losing a bunch of weight, I have a lot less like acid reflux and stuff like that. It's like, oh, so being fat was a problem.
Well, also,
it wasn't just like, no, this is just everyone just has this. It was like, oh no, okay, I see what. I'm also not eating at 11. You know, like, there's a couple of pieces to it, but when I was still getting it even after when I was just starting like eating less, and I was not eating after 8 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For the first bit, I was still getting like it was partly a weight size thing and partly
what you were eating,
what I was eating, and partly a when I was eating it.
And so,
like many things, it's all connected. But
so, I love a bagel. This cream cheese is decent. I don't usually go sweet with bagels.
Well, that's why I got the two. Like, I actually do tend to do that. Like, I love a cinnamon raisin bagel in general, and then so like a fruit cream cheese, I'm all in about. But that's why I got the two options because I didn't know which way you were gonna go. And
Well, initially my response was cinnamon bagel with the chive and cream.
yeah, the most chaotic possible answer. I was like, oh no, I didn't think I had to specify that wasn't an option.
You're like, no, I won't do that.
No, no,
Not again.
you can't make me.
So that was our first movement.
Yeah. I finished my bagel while Richard was expounding on his bagel habits.
Yes.
Richard has half a bagel left,
Yes.
which he'll eat while I'm answering your fucking questions.
So why don't we get into that?
Let's do it.
Well, we're first going over to Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
First question comes from Ranger Gord, who asks, I run a podcast about Greg Sanders' Vigilante. Don't really need to, promote yourself, but it's fine. I'm glad he at least didn't call what the podcast is.
Yeah, that's true. It's a weird half step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun finding music and themes to use. What would you use for a modern cowboy theme?
Okay. So,
The sound of screaming indigenous people.
Ooh. Yikes. Fucking yikes. Jesus. First of all, I want to say Greg Sanders' Vigilante is one of those characters that I knew nothing about, but got really interested in because of Justice League Unlimited. Because Vigilante's in like 4 episodes, like with like lines and stuff to do. Like Vigilante like does shit in that show.
Oh, wow.
And like the relationship between like the friendship between Vigilante and Shining Knight, where you have this like old-timey medieval knight and then this like Western cowboy on a motorcycle like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I fucking loved. I love what they did with Vigilante on Batman the Brave and the Bold, where he was like a troubadour. He was like playing guitar. He'd like roll through and like sing about Batman and shit.
I love
which
that.
I fucking love. I think that's great. Yeah. I mean the thing to me about Vigilante, and I might, I might be slightly crossing wires with different comic continuities of things, is that he's got the cowboy aesthetic, but he's not necessarily in the Old West all the time. You know what I mean? Like, if we really think about, like, when were the Seven Soldiers around and stuff like that, we're talking about, like, the, quote, 40s. Even the retcon that put, like, Green Arrow and Speedy traveled back in time, and that's why they're in the Seven Soldiers with these older characters like Stripesy and Star Spangled Kid and stuff like that. They put them in like the 30s or the 40s or some shit. So Greg Sanders' Vigilante is already a little bit a man out of time. If anything, it kind of puts him in like, to go back to your point about screaming indigenous people, it kind of puts him in like Killers of the Flower Moon kind of era.
Yikes.
I don't know musically what I would necessarily pick, but I think it would be important to pick something a little old-timey. Not like, I don't think I'd want like the ragtime, like bad guy coming in, like saloon music, but something maybe like a little bit early 20th century, like kind of a swing, a little jazz, a little kind of big bandy, but maybe with some, I don't know, something like, if you were playing big band by yourself only on a piano, as opposed to like having like the full orchestration of it or something like that, I think is maybe where I would go for someone like Vigilante. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of what would be a good option. Because I was like, who's like a contemporary version also of like
sure, yeah,
of some of that like classic stuff. And I was trying to figure out a name, which I think I saw one recently as one of our DocScored listeners had it come up on their Spotify Wrapped.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, they would be perfect. And so it's, give me a minute here.
Yeah, this is all good. We'll keep this in.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we obviously will, because it's not like you're gonna go through You left a full 40 seconds of silence in the double this past week.
Because I edited it after we recorded it. I didn't even, I just was there. Oh, Orville Peck.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's
Orville
a
Peck.
good call. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do that. Or screaming indigenous people.
Jesus.
All right. Let's leave Facebook and head on over to Reddit.
Where everyone's nice, no one's ever mean.
Dope. First question, and only question from Reddit, comes from Just Takes One Bad Day 725.
Okay.
Who asks, which superheroes are lactose intolerant?
Oh. There must be canonical answers to this. And for real answers, go to Jaffe. But I want us to think who seems lactose intolerant. Well, I mean, it can't be Superman. Because he's an alien, he's got an iron stomach and stuff like that.
Also
But also,
farm boy.
he's a farm boy. There's no way. I'm saying it's if you just grew up on a farm, you wouldn't be lactose intolerant. The most.
These fucking city boys are too weak.
Yeah, you weak snowflakes. Fucking. Yeah, God, who would be lactose intolerant? I think
maybe speaking of vigilante from the
the Adrian Chase one.
Yeah,
he might be lactose intolerant. I mean, I think whoever is lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone was just going insane there. I'm blowing up.
Oh my god.
I think whoever is lactose intolerant, if we were in Frank Miller's world, they'd be cucks. I'm gonna throw this one out there. I think Two-Face is lactose intolerant.
Only half of them, though.
Only half the time.
Yeah. Every time he goes to eat a cheesecake, he has to flip a coin.
But the coin is just whether or not he eats the cheesecake. Inside, internally, his body is flipping a coin for whether or not he's going to shit his pants.
Yeah, it's a real fucking Russian roulette.
Is today the day, Harv?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get the New York cheesecake. I think.
I love that.
Yeah. Do you have anyone that you think just gives up as someone lactose intolerant who in comics gives up lactose intolerant vibes?
Oh, I mean that's tough, right? Because it's not Martian Manhunter because he loves the milk with the cookies.
Yeah. I think we can. Yeah, Martian Manhunter's fine,
so that's easy to tick him off.
I'll put this out there. Ted Cord.
Okay.
Ted, because we've talked about this before. He's always struck me as soft Batman.
Yeah.
He's, very smart, has all the tech, but Batman's got sharp things, and Ted makes an air gun.
Yes,
and so I think Ted would be why did they put cream in it?
Freddie Freeman.
Oh sure, yeah, Freddie Freeman. Yeah. Captain Marvel Jr. / whatever they call him in the Shazamily. Yeah, I like it.
I think that's my answer.
Yeah, those are good.
Okay. Next, we are leaving Reddit and heading over to the Doc Scored.
Oh shit!
Do you have a plan?
Oh, hang on.
Oh yeah,
I've got this.
You're gonna nail it this year.
I've got this.
Okay.
Have a doxy scoredy DocMas. It's the Doc Scored of the Scored. I don't know if Docs is scored, but have a scored of Docs.
Wow, you nailed it this time. I'm sure all of them will be good.
They're going to be great.
First question.
It's going to be whatever Christmas song I can think of.
And the moment.
Yeah.
Cosmic DM Classic, who asks, what food do you just not get the hype for?
Oh, just a food, eh? A food that I don't get the hype for. This is going to sound crazy based on stuff we've done, but for me, it's steak.
Well, after you've had,
don't get me wrong. You made me an incredible steak that haunts my dreams, and I'll never get over it.
Yeah.
But just when people are like, "Oh, I need a steak," it's I don't know that that's I seldom at a restaurant have been like, "I'll get the steak." I kind of only do it if I end up at a steakhouse and I'm like, well, I don't really want their version of anything else.
Sure.
Like, I never just crave steak. I've had excellent
Yeah.
steaks, but that has never been a thing where it's just like, yeah, steak. Let's put steak on the grill. Like, I could give a shit. I'd rather have a burger. I'd rather have sausage. I'd rather have like chicken parm. There's
Sure.
like a million things I would pick above a steak.
I think, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think that I'm so picky about my steak that often I won't order it because I'm like, most steak, if they're just like, just taste the meat, and I'm like, just, especially when there's not a lot of fat, like a sirloin, I'm just like, I could not fucking care less about a sirloin. Like a strip loin, like a New York strip, I don't give a if I was like, if it's not like a rib steak, I kind of don't care. Like they always are underwhelming to me. If there's not enough fat content, like good marbling. Otherwise, I'm just like, this just tastes like a fucking wad of meat in my mouth, and and I'd rather pay different amounts of money and go to a different place.
I'd rather be the one given the wad.
But I mean, we've talked about this, I think, on the double, but I'm pretty underwhelmed by pizza.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pizza's got such a fucking hype about it, and people are like, in all media, and everybody's always just like, fucking pizza, whoa, any pizza is good, even bad pizza. No.
I mean, and especially the way that we've romanticized just like plain ass cheese or pepperoni pizza is like, it's fine, but it's like, we're talking like utility grade food there. We're not talking about like something incredible.
No, I've never really gotten the hype for it.
I definitely find now that I've got highs and lows with pizza. Like right now I'm in like I don't even want to think about pizza kind of mood, but every once in a while I'll swing back to like, well, we'll try this, but I'll get something like not fancier in the like artisan way, but like the decadent way where like I want like a lot of toppings and a different sauce and like I'll do shit like that to a pizza.
I think like even if the pizza is catered to my specific tastes, I am still underwhelmed by it because
you'd rather have those ingredients in any other form.
Yes. Yeah. I've had the fanciest pizzas I can imagine. I've had the cheapest pizzas. I've had the greasiest. Like I've had all.
I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. You went fucking Rutger Hauer there. I've seen pizzas you could never comprehend.
Yeah, I've seen fire. I've seen rain.
Oh, okay.
Pizza.
Yeah.
All right. Last question.
All right.
From the Bat Girl, who asks, "Who is your favorite member of the Bat family and why?"
You go first.
I mean, look. It's fucking probably Batman, like
Bruce.
Yeah,
Batman,
Bruce Batman.
the OG.
Like I'm gonna be basic about it, but I think that, and only just because I've never seen anything from any other character, and it's really just because the amount of that character I've seen.
Sure,
but no other piece has been better than the best Batman thing I've read, and so in like if I have to choose somebody, it's like, well, now if you're just choosing it based off of the character and like who they are and what they represent and that kind of stuff, like that's a slightly different answer because if I'm just being like, what character have I enjoyed reading the most? Well, it's probably Batman because it's just gotten the most stuff, so there's just better stuff written about Batman. I don't think the best Robin piece,
but there's also a bunch of shit Batman in there too.
Absolutely. But if I'm talking about like who that character is and like the potential of that character, maybe it's Dick, because I think Dick has a lot of potential that maybe hasn't had the perfect amount of opportunity to flush out. But yeah, that's a tough question from that standpoint.
I mean, I agree. Just by sheer numbers, there's so much cool Bruce Batman stuff. He's always going to be near the top of the list. For me, I'd say my favorite Bat family member is Dick. It's Nightwing.
I figured that was yours.
That's a more recent thing, the last few years or whatever. But I really like Nightwing. I've been loving the current series, but in general, like I like Dick in that era. Here it is. See, I love Dick in that era.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm mostly straight.
I'm going to Pornhub.
Yeah, 1950s Dick,
Casablanca.
Yeah. Citizen Kane, but the Kane is like a dick. Yeah. North by North dick.
Jesus. Rosebud. But he's talking about an anus.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I really like
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Jesus, not even a 40s movie.
No.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. It still has Mickey Rooney and he's still playing
Doing
the Chinese character. No, I really like that. I like Nightwing. I'd say on the hit rate, like the percentage, I'd say Batwoman. I've like when she shows up, I love Batwoman stories.
Sure,
like
yeah.
Kate Kane. She just doesn't show up nearly as much. So like volume wise, there's a lot more great Nightwing or Batman out there than Batwoman. But Batwoman, I'd say probably has a higher hit rate.
Yeah, yeah.
So I also really like Kate Kane. But objectively, it's Nightwing for me.
Fair. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last question for what?
Was it?
Huh?
Listen, someone on the Doc Squad submitted a bunch of questions too late to make it to the things. But they submitted so many questions and put time in that I was like, I should honor that in some way. And the way I'm going to honor that is each episode, I'm going to decide whether or not to answer one of the 12 questions.
There's not one two-faced question?
There's 12 two-faced questions, all from one person. So one person gets
Who's it from?
So this is from Bear on the Doc Squad.
Okay.
Can
we bear it today?
So I'm going to read the question, and I'm going to flip,
Oh, yeah.
and then we'll see if I answer it.
If we can bear the
I
question.
also have too many things in my head, so this is going to go
and
poorly.
also, you classically are great at flipping a coin.
Don't know what you're talking about. Here we go. So the question is, what's the best comic to read if you want more of Bane? Heads. Going to answer it. I'm going to say Gail Simone's Secret Six. Bane is awesome in that comic, and you get this weird, like, very human, very compassionate side of Bane. The dynamics, like the kind of like living in a house, like Big Brother dynamics. Like, I mean, the reality show Big Brother dynamics of the Secret Six book, I think is awesome. So to me, if you want more Bane and you want like an interesting kind of take on the character, read Gail Simone's Secret Six for sure.
If you finish the milk, make sure to refill it.
I mean, listen, if that's your answer, the Harley Quinn one, that's also very funny.
Yes.
He's not in that show a bunch, but he's great.
Yeah, love him.
Keeping the wedding gift is gauche.
So good.
I will be this pasta maker's reckoning.
So fucking good.
Yeah, it's very funny.
All right, well, that was the last question.
There you go.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
God, look at you. This is your studio. You set everything up. You're the one who fucking pulled out that question. God, it's nice just like sitting back and having daddy take care of you.
Oh, I'll take care of you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My stomach's already not feeling great. All right. If you want to reach out to us.
Baltese Falcon.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on.
Fuck, that's good.
I'm great at this.
North by North breast.
Squirtigo.
Oh, instead of Serpico?
No, instead of Vertigo.
Oh, yeah, that makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's where, hey, listen, I've got this weird condition where if I'm too high up in a building, I squirt. Yeah, I've got Squirtigo.
Psychode?
Wait, sorry, instead of
Psycho?
just side
Chode? Psychode.
Jesus. I like how we transitioned from noir to Hitchcock, too.
Yeah. I was just thinking old-timey around that period. Anyways, if you want to send us a question, you can do it through our various social media platforms.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
Yeah.
And also send us a question. We're not going to be back until the new year, baby.
Yeah, so fucking sit on your hands.
Yeah.
Jerk off.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, then get off your hands.
Yeah. No, this isn't a fucking chili dog situation.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, patreon.com/DrDC. There's 3 levels. They all give you access to the Doc Squad, and the higher ones, there's bonus episodes and bonus series to listen to. So, yeah, go check that out.
And we have another podcast all about the TV show Supernatural. We go through every single season. We're currently in 8.
Yeah, and it's called Ghostfacers, a Supernatural Rewatch.
Check it out. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.